looking at how to get a rocket into orbit in Kerbal space program. I'll give you a full guide, how to get there, what rocket to use, how to build it. So first you're going to want to either create a default one, which is what I'm doing to save a bit of time. Go into the vehicle assembly building. Now you could use a pre-made option, but I won't for this. So what I would do is, I would start off with the payload, get a Mark 1 command pod at first, with a Mark 16 parachute, so the Kerbals don't like fly off and die. Then I would go lower. This is what I would do, of course. You can do what you want, but use a 1.25 meter heat shield underneath the Mark 1 command pod. Use a TD12 decoupler underneath that, and then for the upper stage, which will be underneath this, use an StageFL-T400 Fuel Tank and a vector liquid fuel engine. And then after that, you're going to put another TD12 decoupler, so that this bit will fall off as well. Then for the lower stage, which will be the one that carries you into orbit, use an StageFL-T800 Fuel Tank and use a vector so I'm going to restart because I just fumbled it there, but it's okay. So I'm going to redo that with all the same steps, and I'll tell you when I got back to the part. For Christ's sake. I'm going to use an StageFL-T400 Fuel Tank underneath. Oh my god, does everyone have to come in here? Just leave. Then a S3 KS25 vector liquid fuel engine. It's very powerful, not quite efficient. Then under that you're going to put a TD12 decoupler. Under that you're going to put an StageFL-T800 Fuel Tank. Then you're going to put another S3 KS25 vector engine and 3 or 4 fins. Oh, that's a bit big. I cannot find it right now, so I'm just going to launch as it is. And now once you're here, although your rocket, yes, does look very small, you can put the throttle to full and just launch it straight up. And it should get, well, if this is not right, this then you're going to perform a gravity burn. Yeah, I've completely fumbled. Work with this, so I'm just going to start a completely new one. That is my fault once again. Get an StageFL-T800 Fuel Tank. Underneath that you're going to, on top of that, sorry, you're going to want to put a TD12 decoupler. This is just because the other one, it might have worked, but it would have been way too slow. Then once you've put the decoupler pod on top of that, and a Mark 16 parachute, underneath the StageFL-T800 Fuel Tank you're going to put an S3 KS25 vector liquid fuel engine, if it wants to work, yeah, nice. And then underneath that you're going to put another TD12 decoupler, and this time you're going to put 2 StageFL-T800 fuel tanks underneath that to help to give it lift. Okay, I think this is messed up. Wait, it should still work, don't I think. And then we'll see if this works. This is going to be more of a trial and error, because I'm not sure if it's going to work. It might not, but I'm just going to see. Enable SAS, of course, and then just watch it. Now, I'm hoping this one will work. If it doesn't, okay, so that did not work either. Let me just build one that I think should work. So get a Mach 1 command pod, all of the heat shield, and that stays the same. It's just a slightly different build. I've done it before and it has worked, so this one should do as well. Oh, not that, that's way too big. Getting a 1.25 meter one. Then a D12 decoupler. And then underneath that you're going to put an F400 fuel tank and a Reliant liquid fuel engine. It's slightly better. And a TD12 decoupler. Underneath that you're going to put another one of those. And a vector engine. And then, oh days, this thing really doesn't want to work, does it? Wait, that might actually, no, that will not. Great. This game is really annoying with collisions. Like, they almost never work the way you want them to. So this time I'm just gonna, I'm gonna build it from the bottom up, and then I'm gonna have to swap the stages around. But it will mean we can get a better rocket. So. And you're gonna want for the upper stage, which is the one that's gonna be like the final orbit burn and re-entry. You're gonna put a Reliant liquid fuel engine with a StageFL-T800 just so you can get more fuel, because I've noticed on re-entry sometimes it does break, so you will want that just in case it breaks, so you can like not free fall and die. If you do build it this way, you will have to swap the stages around back to front. I don't know why you can't just, there's not like an in-game command for that, but then at the bottom you're going to do the decoupler, and you're going to put a kickback. So why are these two decouplers being in the same thing? And this game is actually kind of peeing me off now with this. It does not want to be built normally. So I'm just going to speedrun this. Okay, never mind, I guess I'm not. Okay, so so make sure if you're going to do it this way and switch it back to front, always start with a solid rocket booster. I'd use the kickback, it just works the best. And then on top add your thing, otherwise it will not work. So you're going to use the same stuff as you would last time, just starting on the booster, and you will have to invert this completely for it to work. But Other than that, it should be fine. Okay, if this breaks, I'm gonna be annoyed. Okay, it has not broken. So take O and put it where 6 is. Take the new O, put it where 5 is. Take the new O and put it where 4 is. Take the new O and put it where 3 is, and it should just work like that. It is a very efficient way of doing it, and you should do it like until. And also there's a good way to look, see if there's errors. If you have 2 decouplers or 2 thrusters on the same thing, you'll likely have built it wrong. Now that I got it right, I'm going to click launch. Never mind, I'm not. You're going to scroll right twice and pick any of the pilots. Again, I have them on all stars because it's a default sandbox one. You might have to unlock some of the rocketry things to do it. So once you're in it, you're going to go, wait, what was east? I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a stupid person. Wait. Sorry, let me work this out. What way? Oh, I can't even spell way. Okay, I think I've got this now. So you're just going to launch it at full power. It will start off slowly, but okay. Okay, slowly but surely, you want to do a gravity burn east, and then stop once you're at 50, anywhere from 45 to 55 degrees. It's going to be the best spot to get into orbit. Make sure you're facing east, which when you start off on your heading thing and it shows you're at 0, you want to use your pitch stick and push it forward slightly and try and maintain as close to 45 as you can get. And then when your rocket slowly starts to do it, you can like recorrect it and just try and keep it in between that range. Once your solid fuel booster, your SRB has run out, you're going to jettison it. Make sure you keep the 45 thing, then fire the engine. It will go crazy, which is why. Okay, and then if it goes wrong slightly, you can just like try and experiment with it again, because it gets a bit messed up when you get into orbit, like very messed up, especially now that it's for some reason it's deciding to act like a slinky. Yeah, so I'm gonna revert this from launch just so I can do it again, because I kind of scuffed it up. Now, once you're in orbit, it is a little bit harder. You have to do it. So yeah, once you've done the 45-degree gravity turn. Okay. So you're going to not once you've used your booster, hopefully you get past 10 kilometers. I mean 10 meters. No, 10 kilometers. Sorry, that was bad for me. Try not to go like okay, wait. So I've kind of made a problem here, but I will still be able to get out of this. You down, not much at all. Now once you're in this like orbit thing almost, which you probably won't get just yet, or you could, this is what I think would also be a good option, go straight, well not straight up, like yes that's perfect, angle, and then once you're at an angle, that is perfect, well not perfect, but perfect enough that you're going up but sideways at the same time, and you're confident. What you're going to want to do is wait until your liquid fuel runs out, jettison that stage, but just stay like that, look at your map, see how close you are. If you have to readjust to, for this one I think I've got a perfect run, so this engine's going to keep on burning. Now if you see it's going too high and it's probably going to break the orbit, you can always readjust. If it does happen, I will restart again because I can't be bothered to try and readjust it, which would probably be impossible because I've not got enough fuel to go there to do a turn maneuver. I'm just trying to get as a one-way orbit. So as you can see, the orbit starts to form. Now you see the apoapsis gets very high, and then here sadly it did break because I had speed going up and sideways. Now ideally you would just want to get to go up, but if that doesn't work it's fine. So yeah, I'm just trying to get back into orbit. Now I'm going to use a method that I don't really use, feathering fuel. Like the booster, of course you can't control it, which will be annoying. And although yes, this video is stream will be long once it turns into a video, you should skip to around the 17-minute mark, but stay from the beginning if you look through, because this is more of a trial and error. So yeah, this is a better run because we're staying at this and we're only going to launch up with the speed we have. You can look on here, we're not even going to barely break the orbit. And what you're going to want to do is you've got to try and angle it as much as you can. Like once your solid fuel booster runs out, jettison it, then you've got like very little time to aim it. But then once you do, just be aware you already have what is it, upwards thing, and then yeah, you just try and get momentum. As you can see here, I'm trying to get as far away from this as I can, and you'll see it starting to work once you get. In fact, I'm not, again, just try and like, if you start burning up, you can go higher again. Hopefully this time it doesn't scuff up, but this will, if it doesn't work, I'll try 2 more times. They'll just go for suborbital. Wait, I think we've got it this time though. This looks a lot more solid than it did. But again, I've got a lot of delta V right now, which is why I want to be careful. Then, if it still looks like it's going wrong, you can aim it down slightly, and you will start to see, hopefully, an orbit. Mine broke again, and I'm going to probably rage if it doesn't work this time, but that is okay. So this time I'm going to go for a new strategy. It's a very efficient strategy. I've only got into orbit once, so yeah, don't blame me if I'm bad at it. But this rocket is a good way to go. I will probably put in a description how to do it. I mean, it is, I can't really say it's not rocket science because it is, but also another good thing I do is once I reach the area where there's no more, where I'm at like 20,000 meters, I'd aim for the moon. I don't know why, it works. or like the second your booster thing dies. Because look, if I'm going straight up, which I am going to, you're not really going to see much, but you want to get high, and then okay, I'm just gonna do not a full burn, medium burn. Then when we're at half fuel, I'm going to change direction, because ideally you're going to want to get to you want your upper axis to be about 100,000 meters. And once your upper axis is high enough, you're going to initiate a gravity turn, which is where you use the gravity and then a bit of fuel to burn in a way. And then if you start slowing down, that is a sign that your upper axis is going to start rocketing. And this is good, because when your upper axis is moving at this, it usually means you're getting closer to a stable orbit. Not always, but sometimes. So yeah. Once you're here, you're just going to start flying. Now, ideally, you don't want to go too fast, and you want to save some fuel for re-entry. But what I'm going to do is, once I get to this, I'm going to shut off the engines and enable time warp mode. So then when you do get to the upper axis, which I'm at, which is going to be your highest point, then you can angle, now that you're at a high point, you can angle the rocket down a little bit, so you don't fly off, you go in more of a straight line. And now, you will start to see an orbit forming. Now, this was a shock to me when I first got my first stable orbit, but this is absolutely brilliant, because now you've got a stable-ish orbit. I'm saying stable-ish because my first time I crashed back down when I entered the top of the atmosphere, but now you'll see that you start to speed up and gain, and you will lose height, but at least you'll be speeding up, and you'll notice that you go past way faster than the Earth can pull you down. So then, yeah, and then every time you see a green line, that's a possible landing zone, and you'll want to angle there and do that. So yeah, this is the close peak. I finished the actual guide bit where it shows you how to get up, but if you just want to like stay until I do a re-entry burn, you can. I mean, like, you'll look how much speed we're getting. Then you get to the periapsis, which I believe is when you start losing speed. Yeah, and then you lose speed and gain height. And then when I'm at the upper axis, I will do a return burn. Actually, no, when I go round again, I'm going to do a return burn, because you want to burn down. Or when I'm at the Kerbal space program, like here, it's pointing to land, where you should turn. But because we've got so much fuel, it's not like we need to do anything drastic. We're already pointing at the Earth. So let's just go that. And now I'm going to try and get a return. And you're going to want to, like, push it down at first, so that your orbit, so that you actually do manage to get into orbit. Because now, as you can see, we are still orbiting, but we're orbiting a lot closer to death. And now we're in a stable orbit. I haven't found the way to return. So yeah, we're in orbit. We're not going to fall down. If you really wanted to, you could jettison from that. It's not going to affect it. And unless you get pulled back in, you're just going to orbit around. I'll do a time warp now to show you if I get pulled back in using this trajectory. Now, you ideally want your atmosphere to not go below 70,000. If it goes below 70,000, you are going to get you should start to burn up, which is good, because you're going to, if that happens, there is an easy fix for it. You're going to want to angle you're going to want to angle your pod in. And now you're losing speed but gain height. So that is how to get a rocket into orbit in Kerbal Space Program. See you next time.